The night at the club with Steve Aoki, where to begin? We had to get there at midnight to be set up. He didn't go on until 2 in the morning. People are dancing, drinking, having the night of their lives, and we're all just there in business mode, waiting for this thing to get going.
And then it's like raining money, and everybody's rich, and Keith and I are just like taking dollar bills off the ground. I think I got like $14.
I'm also buried in my phone, trying to text Steve Aoki's tour manager saying, hey, when Steve arrives, can we get him, backstage before he goes out? I think it was about 1:45 in the morning. And he's like, get backstage now.
The night was crazy because it seemed like it wasn't going to happen. We end up pretty much being able to corner him in a back room.
Take me through the just preparation that goes into a show like tonight.
Preparation is like 20 years in the making. It's the biggest pie you could possibly imagine.
And then follow him on stage for what was probably one of the more exciting filming nights of our DP's life.
They gave me 20 minutes where they didn't allow any other photographers or videographers in the booth. And I used all of it to get some really cool footage.
My name is Steve Aoki. Everybody f***ing scream!
That was honestly one of the funnest things I've ever shot in my life, I'm not gonna lie.
We ended up booking Steve Aoki because Dan Bilzerian, who we taped an episode with previously, put in a good word and connected me on text with Steve. So we get there, and it's a couple-hour sit-down profile interview, and you're talking about all aspects of the person's life, including the kind of emotionally gripping, sensitive topics.
Like my face, my eyes, I'm Japanese. I had a lot of shame in that, And then later on I felt guilty about it, and then I was like, I gotta reclaim that. I gotta own this.
So apparently Steve didn't get the name of the show. It's In Depth with Graham Bensinger, and he had no idea about all of the subjects that we were gonna get into.
This is an intense interview, man. Did not expect this to be like this intense. I didn't expect to get so deep into it.
The part that stands out most to me from the interview is his raw emotion speaking to the impact that his demanding work schedule has had on his personal life.
So you better just give 100%. Love what you're doing, where you're at. Because after that moment's gone, it's gone. Probably the most iconic card of sports, the Michael Jordan rookie card.
Everybody's given me a hard time about the trading cards being a sports tie to Aoki, but first, it is.
And a PSA 10. There's only over 300 some odd numbered PSA 10s out there in existence. It just recently sold for over $800,000. I got it for 85 grand.
Did I read you spent $10 or $12 million during the pandemic?
Let's just say that I went in heavy.
There are binders of Pokemon cards in that guy's house that are worth more money than I'll ever see.
This is the most sought after, rarest Pokemon card in existence. It's a Pikachu Illustrator card. I spent $420 on this. I wouldn't sell it for under $2.53 million.
Second, he has this incredible health and wellness routine that he credits with keeping him tour ready and able to do hundreds of shows all over the planet each year and have a travel schedule that rivals that of a Secretary of State.
Welcome to my studio. This is the Neon Future Cave. Teleport into a different world.
So we do a lot of house tours with our guests, and it's always really fascinating to kind of see what everybody has, right? Like everybody wants to see how rich people live.
The house is literally like a big kid's playpen.
So this is the toy room. I shagged out all the walls.
I don't actually know what you would do in there. It seems like something somebody could only appreciate if they were on some drug trip.
I wanted it to be bright yellow and blue. I love these as a base. And pink pops. Okay, you wanna jump into the foam pit?
Sure.
I was actually concerned jumping into the foam pit because I've jumped into at least one other foam pit that I can think of, and that was with Rob Dyrdek at the Fantasy Factory many years back. What I did not know about foam pits at the time was foam pits are filthy and rarely, if ever, cleaned. And jumping in there, my eye got infected from the foam pits, and thankfully that did not happen this time.
Jump in, land on your butt. Woo! That was a good jump. That was a committed jump.
So Steve's house is huge, and he has this huge pool that's kind of famous. It's all over social media. Graham's gonna jump into it because, again, of course, we like to have exciting things and make Graham look. You'll see how Graham looks.
I was pretty excited to jump into the pool, actually. A whole different story, though, once you actually get up there and look down and realize, you know, you actually could jump a little to one side or a little to the other side, or not far enough or a little too far, and end up getting seriously hurt.
Go! You all right?
Yeah, you feel that when you land.
I know, you land on your ass, that's why.
I actually thought when I landed on the water, I could have broken something. I remember, like, as I'm coming up, I'm like, oh, just do not act like a wimp in front of the crew. So got out, tried to brush it off, but I was in some pain.
How did I do on the jump?
I would say a 6 out of 10.
He's also really famous for doing this thing at his shows. It's called caking, I think. I'm not gonna miss an opportunity to cake Graham. The issue was we stored it overnight, and it may have been frozen.
I had genuine concern nobody was gonna realize it till he nailed me in the face and busted me up.
I was willing to risk it.
I've caked like at least 20,000 people at this point, and you're the 20,000 and first cake!
It might have been kind of funny if it was frozen. Just saying.
Wow, that was good. That was a good cake.
I was still getting like cake out of my ears and crevices the next morning.
Hi, I'm Graham,
I'm Steve Aoki.
and this is In Depth.